Miami Dolphins, Buffalo Bills. We said this might be a look ahead game. I think we agreed. Maybe it's not. -2.5 for Miami, plus 118 coming the other way for the Bills. 49 is the total. Maybe. All right. So it's fair to suggest that no, neither team was looking ahead. And I think in general, I want to see the Bills play defense the way they did against the Cardinals, against the Dolphins, because I think that might be a problem.
Okay.
I don't think Arizona was trying to attack in the same way that Miami attacks you. And I think if you just sit back and leave the middle of the field that doesn't have Matt Milano, it's just going to be populated with Jalen Waddle, with Tyreek Hill.
I think this is a smash spot for the Buffalo Bills.
Really?
Love the Bills here. Yes. Ryan, I mean, I believe in flow charts, and the Bills just own the Miami Dolphins. They're 11-1 last 12 straight up against the Dolphins. Tua himself 1-6 against the Dolphins. That one win was a 2-point win at home when it was 90 degrees with 70% humidity. The fact that this game is being played at night, we're not going to be seeing thermometers. It'll be a little warm, a little sticky. And look at the Dolphin side. You got Mostert out, Achan game time decision.
Does that matter?
What?
I like in that scheme. If they roll out Jeff Wilson and Jalen Wright, will it be? I'm sure Achan's probably
a slight downgrade. Yeah. I think a slight downgrade. Certainly. I think Achan has some big playability. And then Tyreek Hill. This is a massive distraction. You have Tyreek Hill, Jalen Ramsey calling for the firing of a police officer. I mean, clearly you watch that press conference. This is a guy who is not locked in on football. Home teams in general have not been great. ATS. I understand Miami's matchup against the Bills defense, I think certainly is going to be favorable, but on the other side, I love Gregory Rousseau. I think he's going to be able to pressure Tua. And I think the Dolphins were pretty fortunate to get out of that game with the win. Now, certainly you expect Tyreek Hill to have some explosive plays, and Bill's secondary is, their Teron Johnson, their nickel back is banged up, but I think this is what we could be looking at least for the regular season, the year of Josh Allen, where Josh Allen says, fuck it. I'm going to put the team on my back. I'm going to score a couple rushing touchdowns. I'm going to make this happen one way or another. His will to win, I think, is going to carry this Bills team to victory, at the very least a cover. So I love Buffalo here.
Not worried about Josh popping up on the injury report.
Okay. No, that's not a big deal at all.
Yeah. So, especially on a short week, I would imagine the humidity or whatever sort of weather delta down there in Florida will matter. Yeah, it's a night game. That's fine. But I also think that you're underselling what the defense was last week for them. And I do think Miami, regardless of the running backs, is going to be able to have success on offense. I mean, they gain. I mean, there's a reason Tua is at the top of the yardage chart. They got a ton of yards. There was a couple 4th and outs in there that kind of buried the points, and then fortunate, like you said, to get the fumble. But I mean, this is a team where I think Tyreek Hill is going to be a tough matchup. Like I said, Waddle is going to be a tough matchup, and I expect this offense to look. They look good. They were one of the better offenses in the league, and I think when I look at the Bills, it was just Josh Allen.
Yeah. And I think that's all they need.
And that, and I think I'll be picking them when they're back at home, because I like to chop the divisional games. I just think at 2.5 you have to.
So you're not scared of the Bills' just dominance and ownership of the Dolphins.
If I'll be concerned if their defense is having success, because I think if this is a track meet, I'll take the Dolphins at home.
Okay, yeah, I mean,
to me that's where the matchup.
But you're not buying into. You think the historical ownership that the Bills have over the Dolphins is an outlier and doesn't matter in this.
I think
because I mean there's going to be some spots where I lean into, hey, this team always beats this team in division.
I looked at you at the Westgate and you were like, Josh Allen's doing Josh Allen things. I just think it
was a classic.
He's going to create some variance where maybe we do see that defensive touchdown to start the game, but I certainly think that what we saw last week was, like you said, Josh putting the team on his back against a porous defense.
Yep.
I think this defense will have a better game plan because
if the Dolphins cover, Ryan, that would be 5-0 ATS favorites, home favorites in primetime.
Wow, what are you trying to say?
No,
dogs are due.
They might be.
You're a due handicapper.
I am.
Get you a rag to go with.
Shout
that
out to Chad G saying Bills are 6-0 last Thursday night game. So Sean McDermott is able to get them ready on short rest.
Yeah, no, I think this will be a good game. Kudos to the NFL for putting a good game on Thursday night.
Yeah,